he's physically ill.
Yeah.
He's emotionally, and then the damage you do, like.
You know, I'd never really given much thought to how I would die, but dying in the place of someone I love seemed like a pretty good way to go.
Jaden Smith is back in the spotlight again, and not in a good way. This time, DL Hughley stepped in with his own take, and he didn't hold back at all. He pointed fingers straight at Jada, suggesting her past choices may have played a role in how Jaden acts today. He brought up her controversial behavior, including her connection with Jaden's friend August Alsina, which had people talking for a long time. DL even hinted at serious claims, saying Jada was too caught up in her own world while Jaden was growing up around industry pressure. These are heavy accusations, and they've got people debating non-stop. Now here's what just went down with Jaden. He showed up at the Coulda Been Love Season 2 premiere looking calm, like he was ready to do a normal red carpet interview. Everything seemed fine, until it suddenly wasn't. A reporter asked him about his new Christian Louboutin collection and mentioned he was working with designer Steven Smith, who once worked with Kanye West. Simple question, right? But out of nowhere, Jaden just walked off mid-conversation and completely ignored the reporter. People were left confused, like what just happened? The question wasn't even controversial. Nobody pressed him about Kanye directly, and even if they did, he could have just said no comment and kept it moving. But instead, he dipped without a word, and it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And that wasn't even the end of it. Not long after, Jaden popped up in Paris, and things got even stranger. He was caught on video reacting wildly to hail like it was something he'd never seen before. Now people are also locked in on Jaden's style shift, and it's got everyone talking. He stepped out carrying a mini dollhouse-style bag that cost a wild $47,000. Yeah, you heard that right. $47,000 for a bag that looks like a toy. The internet wasted no time reacting, and the comment sections are packed with opinions flying everywhere. A lot of people are saying the same thing over and over, that Jaden ended up like this because his parents were focused on everything except actual parenting. And when DL Hughley speaks on it, he ties it back to what Jaden may have seen growing up in that household. He brought up Jada's connection with Jaden's friend August Alsina, especially during a time when August was dealing with serious personal struggles. DL also made a strong point, saying if the roles were reversed, the public reaction would have been way more intense, no question about it. And DL's point really makes people stop and think for a second. Just imagine the reaction if Will had been involved with one of Willow's friends during a time when she was mentally and physically unwell. The outrage would have been instant and non-stop, no debate about it. But instead, most people stayed locked in on the word entanglement and that whole red table talk moment, and the bigger picture kind of got brushed aside.
I see that you're working with Steven Smith, who designed Yeezy footwear with Ye. What are y'all cooking up?
Dog, it's hailing in Paris, bro. Ice is falling from the sky. It was cold. I knew it was cold, bro. Ice is bouncing off of me. Dog, do you see this? Rain doesn't, bro, it hurts a little bit. Bro, what's happening? What's going on? Bro, it's bouncing off, bro. You're not supposed to be able to catch rain in your hand. I'm catching little snowflakes in my hand, bro. You're not supposed to be able to catch rain, dog.
Critics argue that August Alsina was going through a very vulnerable time back then, and that situation raised a lot of uncomfortable questions. What makes it even more shocking to some is that Jaden was reportedly the one who introduced them in the first place, which adds another layer people can't ignore. Now here's the part that really gets people talking. In his 2020 docu-series State of Emergency, The Rise of August Alsina, August opened up about experiencing serious trauma when he was younger. He said it involved someone close to him, which already makes the story heavy. He also shared that even though he asked his mom to keep it private, she ended up telling people around their neighborhood anyway, which clearly affected him deeply. And when August later spoke on The Breakfast Club, he made it clear things were never really close between him and his mom, which just adds even more context to everything he went through. In that same interview, August got real about his struggles, opening up about severe depression and even admitting he had thoughts of ending his own life because he felt like he had no one to lean on. That alone paints a heavy picture. So people are looking at this situation and saying this was someone clearly dealing with deep pain, mentally, emotionally, and physically, without a solid support system around him. That context is exactly why the situation continues to spark so much debate and concern. Then comes the part that really raises eyebrows. Reports say Jaden brought August into his home, and not long after, Jada and August formed a close relationship that turned controversial. The age gap and timing are what many critics keep pointing at, and it's why this topic refuses to fade away. And it doesn't stop there. Some industry voices have also thrown out claims, again, unconfirmed, that Jaden may have had a complicated experience growing up in that environment. People online have noticed that Jada doesn't often show much public affection toward him, while Will tends to be more expressive in ways that sometimes seem to make Jaden uncomfortable.
Come on. Are you okay?
Will has tried to explain it as his way of showing love, but critics quickly point out if someone says they're uncomfortable, that boundary should matter. No questions asked. Why would you keep pushing affection on someone when they're clearly not comfortable with it? That's the question a lot of people keep asking. And now fans are starting to connect dots between Will and Jada's behavior and the way Jaden carries himself today. People even bring up that old Coachella clip of Jaden and Justin Bieber, saying the energy in that video felt off. Some viewers took it further, speculating that both of them may have gone through tough experiences in the industry at a young age. Of course, that's just what people online are saying, but it keeps the conversation going. And then there's the Scientology angle. Yeah, that part always gets people talking. Back in 2008, Will and Jada launched a private school called the New Village Leadership Academy. They enrolled Jaden and Willow there, saying they wanted a place where kids could actually enjoy learning and feel inspired. Sounds good on the surface, right? But things didn't stay simple for long. Parents of other students started raising concerns, and the school ended up shutting down after reports connected it to the Church of Scientology. It was revealed that several teachers were involved with Scientology, and the school's materials even referenced study technology, a method created by L. Ron Hubbard himself. At first, Will and Jada denied any real connection to Scientology, but then actress Leah Remini, who used to be part of the church, spoke out in her book Troublemaker: Surviving Hollywood and Scientology. She claimed she saw Jada at the church multiple times, which added even more fuel to the rumors. Leah also shared a story about being at Tom Cruise's house with Will and Jada, where things got strange fast. She described a night where everyone was told to play an unusual game of hide and seek, which only made people question things even more. At first, I thought he was joking, Leah said, but he wasn't joking at all. She described how Tom Cruise seriously wanted a group of adults to play hide and seek inside a massive mansion, reportedly around 7,000 square feet sitting on acres of private land. That alone had her confused. And when she refused to join in, she said Tom walked up to her and told her, "Well, good, so you're it," which made the whole situation feel even more strange. Leah didn't stop there either. In an interview with the Daily Beast, she doubled down and made it clear how she felt about Jada's connection. She said, "I know Jada's in. She's been in Scientology a long time." She explained that while she never personally saw Will involved, she did claim she saw Jada regularly at the Celebrity Center. She also pointed out that the school Will and Jada opened had links to Scientology before it eventually shut down. Now this is where things start to raise even more questions. People begin asking, what does Jada's alleged connection to Scientology have to do with everything surrounding Jaden and the industry? According to former celebrity bodyguard Big Homie CC, there are claims that some harmful behaviors in the entertainment world were influenced by certain individuals connected to Scientology. Those are serious allegations, and they've only added more tension to an already complicated story. And this is where the conversation starts getting even more intense, because once you stack all these moments together, the interviews, the public behavior, the stories from insiders, people begin to question what's really going on behind the scenes. Some fans are now saying Jaden's actions don't just come out of nowhere. They believe it could be a reflection of everything he's been exposed to over the years, from growing up in the spotlight to being surrounded by constant controversy. That kind of pressure can shape anyone, especially when it starts at such a young age. Others, though...
Why didn't they ask Leah Remini? She's a little more credible. But then again, she might have been able to pull some of their cards, because a lot of them motherfuckers is involved in that Scientology bullshit too. That's LA. The Willow conversation, the Smith family conversation that we had.
In your face.
In your face.
Like, put out in your face.
I mean, there's multiple videos of this man forcibly trying to tongue kiss his son on some Dalai Lama shit. Suck my tongue.
Are pushing back hard on these claims. They argue that a lot of this is speculation, and that people are connecting dots that don't necessarily belong together. Not every unusual moment means there's a deeper story behind it, and it's important to separate facts from assumptions. Still, the discussions aren't slowing down anytime soon. Every new clip, every interview, every public appearance just adds another layer to the conversation. And whether people agree or disagree, one thing is clear: Jaden's name keeps trending, and the spotlight on him isn't fading anytime soon. And just when things couldn't get any louder, the internet keeps digging up more clips and moments that add fuel to the conversation. Every time Jaden makes a public appearance, people are watching closely, breaking down his words, his reactions, even his body language, like it's some kind of puzzle. Some are saying his red carpet walk-offs and unexpected reactions aren't random at all. They believe it shows frustration with the spotlight and the constant questions about his life. Others think it's simply him being unpredictable and doing things his own way, no matter what anyone thinks. Then you've got another group pointing out how growing up famous can blur the line between normal and not normal. When your life is always on display, even small moments can get blown up into something huge. And that pressure, it doesn't just disappear overnight. But here's the reality: people are going to keep talking no matter what. Whether it's his fashion choices, his interviews, or his past connections, everything gets picked apart in real time. And as long as that attention stays locked on him, every move Jaden makes is going to keep sparking reactions across the internet. And now people are starting to ask an even bigger question: where does Jaden go from here? Because at this point, it's not just about one moment or one headline, it's about a pattern that keeps getting attention every time he steps out in public. Some fans are hoping he takes a step back and resets, focusing on his career and what he actually wants to put out into the world. They believe he still has the talent and the platform to shift the narrative if he moves differently from here on out. Others aren't so optimistic. They think as long as he stays surrounded by the same environment and the same spotlight, the cycle is just going to keep repeating itself. And in today's world, where every clip spreads instantly, it only takes one moment for everything to blow up again. At the same time, there are still supporters standing by him no matter what. They argue that growing up in the public eye comes with pressure most people can't even imagine, and not every reaction should be judged so harshly. One thing is clear though: Jaden's story is still unfolding, and people are watching every move like it's the next chapter in a never-ending drama. And then Jaguar Wright stepped in and took things even further. She claimed there could be a link between Scientology and a rumored secret group that supposedly runs parts of Hollywood, which instantly got people talking. She didn't stop there either. Jaguar brought up Will and Jada directly and made strong insinuations about their family that raised a lot of eyebrows. Now, all of this has people split down the middle. Some are agreeing with voices like Jaguar Wright and DL Hughley, saying past controversies, especially the August Alsina situation, might connect to how Jaden acts today. Others think that's a stretch and argue Jaden is simply growing up with fame and privilege, making his own choices along the way. So what do you think? Is there something deeper going on here? Or is this just another case of the internet overanalyzing everything? Now, drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.